Today we're going to be checking out this keyboard, this Corsair K55 RGB Pro gaming keyboard. It's about time that I upgrade my keyboard, and I thought it would be a perfect time to give a little unboxing review video for the new keyboard. And this is the one that I chose. This was just at my local electronics store. I got it at Best Buy. It cost me like $55. It's a Corsair keyboard. On it, it's got some colors on it. I think that it's in sections. We're going to be checking it out as well, but this is the K55 RGB for red, green, blue, so obviously it tells you that there's some colors on it. It's a pro keyboard. They want you to know it's professional. The English layout right there. It's got a Q Corsair interface on it, whatever that means. I really do like the packaging. There's like kind of like a triangular honeycomb kind of pattern on it. Looks really nice. Let's just check out the back and check it out. Again, K55 RGB Pro keyboard, gaming keyboard. On the back of it, you notice that there is a wrist rest. I didn't realize it until a little bit later, but I wish that it showed you that there was a wrist rest on the front of it. But almost walking to the line for checkout, I realized that there's a wrist rest on it, which is nice because I did want one with a little bit of wrist support. It says dynamic 5-zoned RGB backlighting. So that means it's not individually lit, each kind of key. There are zones of it. If you can kind of see right here, I have the white, yellow, blue, green, and pink. So that means these are like the 5 zones. I'm sure you could have them all white, all yellow, all blue. If you want to have it half pink, half green, whatever you'd like. There's just 5 zones, which is cool. 6 dedicated macro keys with Elgato Streaming Deck software integrated, so that means there's some macro keys, and it looks like they partnered with Elgato, which I believe is a device where you can stream stuff. So I guess some of the keys have some built-in functions to them, which is cool. It also looks like there's some keys right here, G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6 are probably programmable. And it looks like some of these keys up here they might be talking about for the Elgato. I'm not 100% sure. Soft textured detachable palm rest, so that's the palm rest right there, or wrist rest. Dedicated volume and media keys, which I do like. I do like having the volume keys on there, so I don't have to actually go to my speaker and turn it. It's just nice to have those little volume up and down button right there. Quiet and responsive keys is the last thing it says. Very cool. It says IP42 rated dust and spill resistant design. So that means it'll probably take a spill in case you spill something on it, which is nice to know. Over here again it says requirements, configuration, PC, Mac, and Xbox. So it's going to work on all of those. Interesting that they have Xbox on there. I'm not really sure. But yeah, there's some check marks. I'm not sure what ICUE is or this little play symbol, but it's got that. And the next thing is, let's just see if there's anything else going on here. Got the side of it. Obviously just shows kind of the layout. Any other information on the keyboard right here? Pretty much the same information on the back. Quiet and responsive. 12 key selector rollover with anti-ghosting. 1000 hertz polling. 1 millisecond USB report rate. 32-bit ARM Cortex processor. So there's a little processor inside of it. And then it tells you the dimensions. 481 by 167 by 36 millimeters. And so on. And it tells you the weight of it. It's like 1.77 pounds without palm rest. Alright, cool. And yeah, the next thing is, let's just kind of open this up and go on from there. Alright, let's just go ahead and open this up a little bit. There's little security seals on it, which is nice. And a little tab. Let's just open it up and kind of see what it's looking like. Very cool. So obviously, it comes in a little baggie. I assume that it's not going to have much inside of here. A little pamphlet we'll check out. And then I think the wrist rest is down here as well. Interesting. And that's pretty much all that's inside the box. I do like the yellow texture on the box. That's very cool. And let's just kind of take out everything first. Got a little pamphlet right here. Got the warranty guide. So I guess there's a little bit of a warranty. A little bit of the keyboard information right here. Probably going to tell you about switching lights and stuff like that. Tells you a little about the functionality. You got the 6 macro keys are obviously on the left side right here. Macro record key is B, so I guess it's some of these buttons right here. Let's just take this out first and we'll check what the keys do. Very cool. Definitely feels more intense and more like a real keyboard as compared to my other one. So it does come with a cord. It isn't a braided cord. It's just like a smooth kind of plastic cord, which is nice. You can kind of hear, and I guess you can hear the keyboard. I can feel it. It's got a really nice feel to it, honestly, comparing it to my other one. It does feel a lot better. My other one is quite shallow and the buttons don't push in very much. Pretty cool. So obviously you got all the buttons right here. Let's just kind of check it out again. So it says A right here are all the macro, the 6 macro keys. We got B, the macro recording hotkey, which is this button right here. I think that's for the Elgato. I'm not really sure. You got C, the brightness hotkey, which is this one right here. So this will actually adjust the brightness, which is cool. You got D, the Windows lock hotkey. I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's going to put your system to sleep possibly. You got the Windows lock macro recording indicator, which is E. So I guess a light's going to turn on if it's recording. You got the num cap scroll lock indicators, which is these lights right here. The volume hotkeys, which is obviously up and down. You got the mute right there. You got the media hotkeys, which is M. Where is the M at? Oh no, which is H, which is right here. Obviously you got like stop, rewind, fast forward, pause, play, which is good for like VLC media player or anything like that, or for music. You got detachable palm rest, which is this guy right here. Let's open it up and check it out and get a good feel of the texture of it. So the back of it is obviously just like extruded plastic. The top of it's got really a soft, smooth touch to it, so it does have a nice feel to it, and it doesn't pick up a lot of my fingerprints, which is nice. And it is warm in here, so it usually would. Just like a thin piece of plastic, and it looks like it's sort of just there's just little teeth in there. Just sort of clips in. Super easy, super simple. And yeah, so that clips in just like that. Nice little fit right there. So I guess the next thing is, let's just undo this, and then we're going to plug it in a second and just kind of see how the light goes. One thing I want to check out before we go ahead and plug it in, if you can see on it right here, the actual USB on it, it's got some nice little grip on it, the little Corsair symbol, and there's also a little keyboard symbol right there, which is interesting. I do like that idea because sometimes you're on the back of your computer or something and you don't know which USB is what. It's really cool that you can just look at the end of the USB plugged into your computer and figure out right there which one it is, which is cool. I do like that because there's definitely many times where I unplug what I think is the keyboard, what I think is the mouse, and it's really not. So kind of a cool little function right there. Alright, now that we checked out the keyboard, let's go ahead and actually plug it in. It's a big stretch to reach to my desktop, but it should make it. And I can hear my computer beeping a little bit, so it definitely looks like accepted. It looks like the lights are on. You can kind of see each section. You got like one ends around here, then the second one ends around here, the third one ends around here, and then the fourth one here, and then the fifth one over here. So you can kind of see the 5 zones, so not each key is individually lit. I do have a little cheat sheet out right here where we can mess around and change with the lighting. So if you hit function 0, it's going to do the rainbow. If you do function 9, it's going to do a wave. You kind of see a wave pattern, which is cool. I do like this lighted keyboard a lot. You got function 8, which is a color shift. And you can kind of shift. It's a green color now, and it's probably going to shift to another one. Very cool. Yeah, function 7, which is a pulse. So obviously it's kind of giving a slight little pulse. You got function 6, which is a type lightning. Function 6, does that mean when you type it's like lightning? So I guess wherever you type, it kind of activates the lights around it and kind of shifts to the right. So whatever you do, it kind of goes down the keyboard. I like it. And it changes colors as well. Ah, very fun. We got then function 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a static change to whatever section that is. So function 1 is going to change the color to section 1. Let's set this to function 0 first, and actually let's do, yeah, let's just change the setting for function 1. Let's make it green. There we go. Interesting, the whole keyboard is green, but function 2 obviously we see we'll set the area number 2. I'll make this one blue, then I'll set number 3 to pink or purple. 5, let's do that yellow, and 6, let's leave it at that light blue. Very cool. So it's really easy to actually set up the keyboard as well. One thing I want to check is, let's unplug this and see if it kind of remembers what I just had, if it has an onboard storage, which I think it does. So I unplug it from my computer. I plug it back in, and it seems that it remembered exactly what I had going on. Let's give it one more try. I'm going to do function 0, and I'm going to have it do the wave. I'm going to unplug it, and we're going to go see if it does the wave when it comes back. So I unplug it, plug it back in, And yeah, so it does seem to remember whatever last kind of what you had it set at, which is cool. So every time you unplug it by mistake or you're moving it to a different computer, it's going to remember the previous kind of color scheme that you had, which is nice. The next thing I want to check out is there is a macro recording button, and let's check out that. So for the macro recording button, it says hold this M button for the macro, then press keys to record it, and you press the M again, and then press G1 to 6 to save it. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to hold the macro button. Now this is flashing, so I think any button I push right now, let's just do hi, and then a smiley face. And then I'm going to hit the macro button again. And then I'm going to save it to G1. So I believe that works. So next thing is, I believe when I hit G1, it's going to type out hi and then a smiley face, which is pretty cool. So let's give that a try. So I'm going to push G1 and it should just pop up on my computer. And it just pops up just like that. Really cool. Another thing that I want to mention about this keyboard is there is like an onboard sort of storage which does save the light configuration. I believe it also saves your macros as well. That is something I'm going to test in a minute. But there is also this sort of IQ software you can run, and you can also control the lighting and I believe the macros with that as well. So there is a software if you want to download to your computer called the IQ, which is I believe what this is on the box right here. If you download this software, it could be able to control it that way. If not, you can always use the macros yourself, the function button, to kind of change the lighting yourself as well. The next thing is real quick, I just want to unplug it and see if it saves my macro on there on like a little bit of onboard storage, which would be pretty cool. So I'm going to try that. So I just plugged it back in. I'm going to go ahead and click my macro. And yeah, it's still there. Very cool. So even if you unplug it, it's going to save whatever macro you have on there. So there definitely is a little bit of onboard storage, which is really cool. I'm pleasantly surprised with the macro keys. I do like that quite a bit. You can have it to have functions or run commands or whatever you like if you want to have certain passwords or informations or logins or something like that, which I don't really recommend, but you could have it on there just because it is a little bit of a security risk. But that is cool that you can have it just pump out whatever you want to have. Like if you're going to be typing a specific word all day, or you're going to be having a tracking number that you're going to have to keep typing, you can kind of macro it to there or something like that, which is pretty cool, and I do like that. And I do a lot of video editing as well, so that could be very helpful for those programs. Very cool. I do like the lighted keyboard effect. Let's see what it looks like without this little grip on it. I do worry about these little pieces right here just breaking off. That is something. But it's a nice keyboard. It's got a little bit of weight to it. I think it said it was like 1.77 pounds. You got these little legs on it right here, so you actually do have little legs. You can hear my computer getting mad at me for pushing these buttons. There's nice little rubberized grips on the bottom. These ones are kind of convex. These ones are just kind of little flat little pads right there. Corsair, this device complies with a bunch of stuff right there. A little bit of information on the back of it. But yeah, so you can kind of change the height of the keyboard if you want to have a little bit more raised or a little bit flatter, which I do like. Another thing about the clip-on kind of wrist rest is that if you do want the legs up in the back, if you notice that it still works, it's not going to put any extra pressure or prevent any bending. So that is cool if you want to flip up those back legs while still having on this little wrist support as well, which is very cool. There's one more thing I wanted to share. I almost forgot about it. There is a brightness button right here. It just looks like kind of a sun symbol. And right now I'm on full brightness. I'm just going to cycle through them. I believe there's 6 steps. You got full brightness, a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less, and then off. And you click it again, it goes back to full brightness. I'm just going to quickly kind of cycle through them. So there is a brightness function. If you want lights a little bit dimmer, a little bit brighter, or just completely off, you can have it that way. Very cool. Keep me safe, Doctor. Alright. Playing a little bit of TF2 as the Troller just to test it out. We've got a spy there. Gotta get used to the keys themselves. Looks like we got the heavy. Can we go again? No! Very cool. Overall, I'm actually really liking this keyboard. So this keyboard is a pretty sweet little keyboard. I like the feel of the keys. It's not too loud when you click on it. Some keyboards have a very loud sort of tactile. It's got a nice kind of soft feel to it. They feel smooth the whole way down. I'm not a huge connoisseur. I don't know a whole lot about switches and stuff like that, so I'm not going to go into so much depth about it. But I do say it does have a nice feel to it. I do like how the cap locks button has this little indent right here, so you can kind of feel with your pinky or whatever thing you want where the caps lock is. There is, if you notice, always these little nublets. You got one on the F, you got one on the J, and you got one on the 5 right here, just to help line you up when you're not looking. And yeah, I do like how it has the full kind of number pad right here. It's got a cool macro function, and I like how the macros actually stay there even if it gets unplugged. And I do like the lighted part as well, and I do like how the light, whatever you set it at, will save it at that even if it gets unplugged. And I do like how you can individually kind of change or just really play with the lighting. Or is it F6, which does the lightning? I do like that one. Or F7, very cool. But anyways, what a cool little keyboard. I just wanted to share this all with you all, give my overall like opinion and review of just unboxing and checking out. Overall, I think it's a sweet little keyboard. It cost me like $55. I think it's a pretty good value for what it is. And I think I'm going to do a lot of great content and have a lot of fun playing some games and just making really cool stuff with it. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope that you learned something, or hope that it helps you make a decision on whether to buy this or not. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it was helpful. I want to say thanks for stopping by. Keep on keeping on. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Ooh.